get so caught up in the moment that I forget that it's my turn to speak. I want to welcome everybody here tonight. This is a spectacular evening, and I don't know if you are aware of it or not, but this is history in the making. I need to tell you a short story, and I promise that it will be short because these people sitting in this front row threatened to tell me to sit down if I go too long. So, you are safe. Last January actually, I was at a meeting at Wichita Area Technical College with other site directors who were employed by SDAC, and I was told that we were going to have a new director of site directors, and it was going to be Rebecca Lewis Pankratz. And I said, okay, this is good. I had heard her story, and I'd been with her at a conference, and we sat at the same table, and I had so much admiration for her passion and her authenticity, which is really, really important to me. But her energy level is 5 times what mine is, so I was really hoping she would kind of take an absentee landlord position with me. That didn't happen. In February, she came up and she said, okay, we're going to get rid of poverty here in this area. And I said, right. You know how you do with these bosses sometimes. Whatever you say, that's what we'll do. She told me to gather everybody I could think of in the community to come to a meeting, and she was going to talk, and she would kind of give us her vision. So I called everybody that I could think of, and I thought, this is going to just tank. But we had, I bet you 25, 30 people come to that meeting. And there were 3 people at that meeting that took fire. While I'm still sitting here saying, these 3 people took it and ran with it. Shelley Schneider, Amy Boxberger, and Lenny Maxwell. Amazing people. In March, we got together and Rebecca told us the committees that we were going to have, and next thing I know, Lenny's up there writing names in with the committees. Says, this is who's going to be in charge of all this stuff. Okay, well this maybe, okay. Then the next thing I know, we have a name, Circles of Central Kansas. I don't know this, but I'm kind of thinking that a couple of people think that we may go from the border of Nebraska to the border of Oklahoma. Who knows? I'm kind of thinking these people don't know when to stop. Thank God. So then we ended up talking, and we brought Youth Corps Ministries on board, and I was so honored to be introduced to Youth Corps Ministries and their people, because this is a small little organization who has made great strides, not just in Kansas, but throughout the United States. They are amazing people, and their energy level is right up there with Rebecca. So I'm sitting here hanging my tongue out thinking, right, this is gonna work out. In August, we had our informational meeting, and I was told, don't worry about it. If you only have 10, 15 people here, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. Word of mouth, it'll get around. We had 50. We had 50 people here in this church to find out about poverty in this area. So then I'm told, okay, don't worry about it. We're going to sign up people who are living in poverty, and they will come. Don't worry if you only have 5 or 6. We had 28 signed up. And they're telling me, I'm sorry, but our class limit is 25. How are you going to pick out which 3 people can't come to work their way out of poverty? Thank heavens that number narrowed down to 11 amazing, amazing people. But I have to tell you that at that first meeting, at the informational meeting, I started to buy into that. When I saw the response of Great Bend and the people who came to the table and said, this is important to us, I thought, okay, so maybe there's something there. But when we had our first meeting in September, and I met these 11 amazing, brave people who were the vanguard of this whole project, holy cow! I was blown away. This is the development of faith. This is how it all starts. And you need to know that it's all because of your support, not just meals, although I gotta tell you, that's really wonderful. It's not just childcare, although that's really sweet that we don't have to worry about our kids. It's not just the money, although I will also tell you that money is really sweet to have if you're needing electric bills paid, if you're needing an alternator. It's the prayers, it's the thoughts, it's the good stuff, the good vibrations. Now, does that tell you when I grew up? That came from the community. And I cannot thank you enough. And you give yourselves a hand because you brought this night about. Okay, we took a vote, and we have 3 people who would like to tell about their journey. And we're going to start out with Richard. We have a timer here, so it won't let you know.
Good evening to all, and thank you for coming tonight to this special event. My name is Richard. First off, I'd like to give thanks to a few people because of without them, this wouldn't have happened. Rebecca, the lady behind Circles, she drives endless miles, always away from her first family, and helping God knows how many people. Thank you, Rebecca, for getting Circles started in Barton County. And I'd like to thank Pastor Lenny for opening the church for us to have a place to have our classes. Pastor Lenny touched my heart in a way that no spiritual leader ever has. He made me want to go to church. And I feel that I made a very good friend there, and I thank you, Lenny. And then Tammy Boxberger for telling my significant other, Shelley, about Circles and thought that we would benefit from this. Shelley trusts your judgment, and now so do I. Thank you, Amy and Shelley. And of course, I can't forget our fearless leader, Becky, who taught me something that I didn't think anybody could do, and kept my attention at all times. Kept me from not wanting to fall asleep. And to the community of Barton County for engaging the Circles program. I feel honored to be a part of that community and to see this community care come together and give Barton County a chance to get ahead. And to all the volunteers for the food that we ate, cleaned up afterwards, people who donated money, their time, or helped in one way or another, I give you my thanks. And to the kid patrollers, babysitters, whatever you like to call them. You guys were the fearless ones. I never heard one bad complaint from anybody about you. Congratulations on that. Circles to me is a new outlook on life. It has shown me ways to communicate with other people to where I wouldn't say the wrong things and make the walls come up. I've always had a problem with that, and I've learned a different way to communicate. And there can be a better life if I choose to follow through with my goals and sometimes just listen with an open mind. Communication is where it starts. If we all can communicate with each other, we will go further in life instead of looking behind us. Well, I'm a long ways from where I should be in life, but at least now I'm willing to do this differently. And maybe before I react, I know I want to be I'm sorry about that. And maybe think before I react. And I know I want to be the same as everyone else, equal. And Circles is what this is all about. Communication, listening, and helping with an open mind. And the willingness to get ahead, but not forgetting where I came from and where I'm going. I hope other people can get something out of circles like I have. Heck, if I can learn, anybody can. Circles will definitely help Barton County get ahead if everyone involved just tries it. It's a win-win situation. All you have to do is try. Thank you all for listening to me and for understanding. Thank you, Barton County, for allowing me to learn how we can get ahead and get to the next step. Thank you.
Now, Jamie Baldwin will be second.
Good evening, my name is Jamie Baldwin, and I am proud to be a Circles leader. Thank you all for coming tonight. It means more to us all than you know. I'd like to share my experience thus far in Circles group. It started with listening to a heartfelt testimony by Rebecca. She's pretty amazing. Sorry. Her story touched me. I related to it so much. What really caught my attention was how she overcame so much. Sorry. What this group called Circles has done for her and many others, and that she chose to give back by committing to passing on what she learned to others like me. I decided that night after her testimony that the hope of getting out of poverty, the possibility of not having to struggle to just get by, and the thought that I might even get to a point where I could comfortably provide for my family was well worth 1 hour a week of my time. Sign me up. Little did I know that this 1 hour a week would quickly begin to change my life and give me new perspective on so many things. We are all learning so much from each other. We are working past misconceptions and judgments and working together to solve some of the problems we face in poverty. We are building relationships and making lifelong connections all across class lines. Circles has given us leaders a voice, and most important to us, an audience. An audience that truly cares and is willing to listen and help. We do not need or want handouts, like Richard said, but we appreciate an extended hand to help us up. This group is about connections and relationships, people's coming together for the good of the community. I believe this community will see firsthand what empowerment and a sense of confidence does for people in living in poverty. Exciting things are happening in this community. I am truly blessed to be a part of it all. This group has given me a new hope for my future, my children's future, and the future of generations to come. If you are not currently involved, I extend a special invitation to be part of this. You will not regret it. Thank you all so much. Our future is bright.
Our last speaker is Lee Schwerin.
I am so proud to be here tonight. When I first started this, I was completely terrified. I didn't know if I was going to make it through. I didn't know what I was going to get involved with. My fiance is the reason I am here. I told her at the first meeting, if I was the only guy there, I'm not coming back next week. So thankfully, Richard was there. I have learned how to communicate better with other people, not including just my fiance. I've learned how to communicate with people outside my home, in my home, and everywhere in between. My fiance is the reason I am so proud to be here. I have started this, I'm going to end with this. I am going to through every single step that Rebecca wants us to go through. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. The main thing I have gotten through this whole thing is, guys, we don't suck. You guys keep me driving every day, and I appreciate all of you so much. I go home after every meeting and I go talk with my mom, and as she's sitting there and she feels and hears the passion in my voice. The night we had the meeting with all the group leaders, I impacted so much on so many of the group leaders that were there, and it felt so good to hear that somebody is willing to listen. And I thank everybody for opening their ears and wanting to help all of us and not just worrying about themselves and their families. Thank you.
I have to say that we have two guys that are in our class, and they have really kind of spoiled us, just saying. They are amazing, amazing people. I have here some diplomas and an envelope. And what I'm going to do is call a name. I'm going to let you come up, get your stuff, and then sit back down again. Because I'm sorry, Lee wasn't the last one. Close, but not quite. Sam. Amazing people. I'm going to give you a hug. Oh. She keeps Lee in line, and she kind of helps provide a stability for the whole crew. She can get just the right word at just the right time. Thank you. Judy, you weren't first, but you were second. Congratulations. This woman, I will have to say, is a woman who's not afraid to speak her mind. A couple of times I wish that she was, but she tells it like it is, and I cannot thank you enough. Oh, so glad. Thank you. Karen LaPierre. Whoa! Here is another woman who's not afraid to speak her mind. This woman, this is kind of she got her car smacked into, and it was totaled, and it was just really a big deal. And she came out smelling like a rose because of the social capital. The people that she knew was able to help her get a car. So now we're all jealous of her, and I'm thinking about getting my car totaled. Oh! Shelley. Sam and Shelley are two of the women that I'm insanely jealous over, but that's okay. I cannot thank Shelley enough. She is a good stabilizer for the group. We have really good mothers in that group. Yes, we do. And she's one of the best. This whole crew speaks their mind. We have at the end of each meeting, we have what's called appreciations. And if you ever want to be appreciated, you get this guy to appreciate you. Everybody in the room ends up bawling. It's just awful. Thank you so much. Jamie Baldwin. You can tell he's not alphabetical. Woman who has grown so much. Don't you agree? The first meeting we had, she sat there with her arms folded and just kind of looked. And by the time we were all done, she was talking almost as much as I am, and that's saying something. I'm so glad to Amanda. Whoa, look at you. Oh, there are not enough good things to say about Amanda. She is one who uses the tools that she's given and not afraid to do that. She is one of the first people who got on our Facebook page, and she communicated with everybody. An amazing, amazing woman with two wonderful kids. the punniest people I know. Very seldom does a sentence go by that he doesn't add to it and embellish it. And sometimes we feel really sorry for Shelley. Brian! Oh! Brian has two of the most beautiful children you've ever seen, and one of them, the youngest one, Naya, when she was born, looks just exactly like Ryan, but now her hair's turned blonde. But Ryan is really good. She and Amanda can even each other out, and when Ryan sits next to Amanda, sometimes you want to say, just separate them. Just separate them. And last but not least, Chrissy! This is another woman who has blossomed so much through this thing. She was another one who sat there very quietly at the beginning of the classes, and now she's president of her house, and she is going to speak at, they're having a spaghetti feed, and she's going to be one of the guest speakers, so we're very pleased. Good deal, good deal. So, now that the class of 2018 has had their moment of fame, I would like to introduce two very special women, Rebecca Lewis-Pankratz and Deb Factor, to come up and speak about the program and share with us about the next step.
Holy smokes, guys. So thank you for being here tonight. When you stood up, I knew there was going to be tears. We walked in, and so thank you for really honoring the very special process that we're celebrating tonight. So February 1st of 2017, I left my position as a Circles coach. Before I was a Circles coach, I was a Circle leader. So when I had my Getting Ahead graduation, I had never graduated anything before. And so I can only imagine if this is as meaningful to you as it was to me, how powerful it is. It is about relationships. It is about coming together. It is about support. It is about activating their voice, knowing that people want to hear from you. We want to know what we can do to help you get where you're supposed to go. I left a thriving project, and in my heart knew that the next place God was calling me was to move into more communities. And somebody asked me, they said, "Do you miss us?" And I said, "I do miss you guys." A Circle leader took my place, so she's now the coach in McPherson. But I said, I've got a lot of new families. So you guys are the first group that's graduating, that I got to be a part of this. And so, incredibly special. It's all about you guys. I love you, and I think you are witness to the fact that your community is listening. They're here, and we're going to make sure that you have what you need to get to where you're going, and that comes from support. You are not alone anymore, and we will get stronger together.
My name is Deborah Factor. I am with Youth Corps Ministries out of Greensburg, Kansas, and Becky asked me to share a couple things tonight. We came to the table a little later than the rest of the players here. We have a vision for having circles in 12 counties, and Rebecca asked me to consider adding Great Bend to that. And so now we have a vision for getting circles into 13 counties. And it's been an honor to be at the table with you. And I just want to acknowledge a few people. So if you're on the advisory, or not, steering committee for this project, would you stand? I think our families would like to see you, and the community. Would you give them a hand? They're working very hard for you. So Youth Corps has come alongside some amazing partners, the United Methodist Church and ESDAC and the Health Foundation, and others in this community to make this happen. And Becky wanted me to share, in Kiowa County, we've been doing this for just coming up on 3 years. We've taken 42 people through Getting Ahead. We're the smallest community in the nation doing this. It takes 2 to 5 years on average journey out of poverty in this program. And in the smallest community in the nation, we now have 6 adults and 5 kids out of poverty. And if we can do it in Kiowa County, we can do it here. 85% of our families would say that their lives have stabilized and the chaos has quieted. Had a young lady, single mom, say to me the other day, I haven't hit 200% yet, Deb, but I completely feel like I'm out of poverty. So we have amazing stories, and you are about to create some amazing stories here. And Youth Corps is absolutely honored to be at the table with you, so thank you. I want to say to community members tonight, there are lots of ways to get involved in this, and we would like to invite you into that process. I'd like to introduce Quinla to you. Quinla, would you stand up? Quinla is community liaison working with us in this Circles process. And if you are interested in knowing more, getting involved, having a further conversation as a community member, would you please see her afterwards and just write down your name and phone number, and she will visit with you further. We'd like to share with you all the possibilities. We are looking for allies. So as we move into this next phase, we are looking for 2 to 3 allies to walk alongside our circle leaders. And an ally is a friend. It's the easiest definition. An ally is a friend. And the commitment of an ally is once a month for 18 months. Once a month for 18 months. Now we've got some training that we want you to go through, and there's a little more intensive process at the very beginning, but that's the commitment. And if you might be interested in being an ally, please say that to Quinlan tonight, because we are in the process of finding allies. I think we want close to 30. So we need you. So please consider being a part of that. So this is an amazing, important night. We're doing a very important thing here, and it's an honor to be a part of it.
All right, Jeff. You guys let me do one little story. So, I've been matched for a while with my ally. She is a dentist's wife. She runs his practice in McPherson. And my oldest son, we didn't know at the time, but he was seriously over-medicated on depression and anxiety medicine. He was 11. We had a really rough go with home and school, and I had to take him to a psychiatric ward for children in Overland Park in Kansas City and leave him there for 3 days. So I worked at the bowling alley at the time, and my house was right across the street in McPherson. And he was gone, and I got off work late at night, and I just knew I couldn't walk across the street and go into my house without him in there. And I walked across the street, and I was praying the whole time, and I got to my front porch, and there was a bag with devotion books and a card and chocolate from my ally. And she said, Rebecca, God is with you, I am with you, and I love you. And because she put that there that night, I was able to walk through my front door. That's what an ally is. Somebody that cares with you, prays with you, sets goals with you. They're not your mentor, they're just your friend. And we know that relationships, poverty is really about isolation and disconnection, and we solve it through relationships and connection.
They're leaving me the opportunity to let you know that we have cake and punch down in the basement. If it deals with food, I usually am in on it. That shouldn't surprise anybody who knows me. Please stay, join us in the munchies and in the food, and join us in the community. Deb Factor made a comment when I was first getting to know her, and it really resonated with me. And some of you may have heard the same comment. She said, we all need to be at the table. We all need to be at the table. We are all part of this community. And until all of us can come to the table and have a voice in that community, we're missing a vital part of it. So come and join our community. If you want to have stuff to eat, it's in the basement. So, and I'm thinking that you can just go out that way and down the stairs, and there'll be lots of good food for you. Thank you, and thank you to the people of Sunny View